Hello! So today I wanted to share with you my easy go-to fall makeup look. It's a youthful look that really plays up the eyes and allows you to use different lip options so that no matter what you're doing or no matter where you're going, you can have a mask on or have a mask off and you are good to go. I'm using various drugstore brands and products in this video. You of course can use whatever you have on hand and get a very similar look. You'll also be seeing various products from e.l.f. throughout this video that I've had great luck with. And once again, e.l.f. has reached out to partner with me. So you will be seeing some e.l.f. products sprinkled throughout this video that I have been talking about a lot lately and loving. And you'll be able to see how I incorporate them into a makeup look that I've been loving lately. All right, let's go ahead and get into this super easy fall makeup look. So the primer that I'm using today is the No. 7 Airbrush Away primer. I just applied a pea-size amount before I started filming. I just wanted to save a little bit of time. This works really well for my skin and I just felt like I wanted to use it today. It's not super mattifying, yet it controls the oil in my T-zone and it works really well for the normal areas around the perimeter of my face too. I also already applied the Pixie corrector under my eyes. I have the shade Brightening Peach. I just placed the corrector right where I needed it, under my eyes where the darkest parts are. I also placed it at the inner corners where I have some darkness and at the outer corners where I have some redness. So the foundation that I'm going to be using is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I haven't worn this foundation in a little while, but I really do like it as far as coverage goes, and on me, it gives just a soft matte appearance and it lasts pretty well on the skin. And I feel like we all kind of need something that's gonna, be decently lasting, with the mask situation and everything. I completely forgot to clip my hair back and had to do that just now. So, I mean, you can see the coverage that that gave. It's really nice, but it looks really good on the skin too. So I've talked a lot on my channel about this hydrating camo concealer. I think it's absolutely fantastic for both the under eye area as well as the face. And actually in this video, I am going to be using eye, lips, and face products from e.l.f. That is what e.l.f. stands for. I love that e.l.f. products just help you look good and feel good at such a good price point. They're 100% vegan. They don't do any animal testing. You just get, good products at good prices. I've also sung the praises of this e.l.f. Halo Glow powder, and I had it in the shade medium for a finishing powder, which you'll see me use later, and I'm using it as a setting powder in the shade light. I have dry textured under eyes, and I really like this under my eyes. It gives just enough of a glow, a radiance for my oily combination skin. Sometimes glowy, radiant powders can just be too much. This one is just perfect. I think if you have normal to dry skin, you will really love this as a setting powder. I just kind of tap it everywhere and keep tapping until it's all blended into the skin. With my damp sponge, it looks like a lot at first, but you see eventually it just kind of starts to meld with the skin and becomes, all one layer with the foundation. And then I will dust away the excess with a brush. I also want to make sure I have a little bit dusted over my eyeshadow primer. Oh yeah, I did put on some eyeshadow primer earlier. I'll have all the products that I use listed down below so that if I forget to mention something, you'll see it down below. So I just want to make sure that that primer is set so that my eyeshadows go on smoother later. I'm going to go ahead and do my bronzer so I can take my hair down, and then I'm going to do my brows. I'm going to use this Physicians Formula Bronze Booster because of the tone. It just works really well for me year-round. It's not too red or, too yellow. It's just kind of the perfect depth. The quality is just really great. I just talked about this in another video recently, if I could only keep one drugstore product for the rest of my life. I'll have that linked for you if you missed it. I'm not going to be using any contour today. I'm just going to go over the high points of my face. I'm kind of pinching my brush and contouring that way. And I am taking this down my neck a little bit because I feel like, I don't know, I need to today. I'm using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. This is teeny tiny, and that's something I really like in a brow pencil. I want to say the shade I have is Cool Brown, but the print is on the cap. I mean, I can't read that. So I'll just have my shades and everything listed next to the products in the description box for you. I think I really like this shade. I think it works really well for me. Sometimes eye pencils can come off as too gray or too red, and this one seems to be the right tone, at least from what I'm seeing. I'm gonna do the other brow and then I will come back. I have several of the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. I've talked about these two before on my channel. This one is Cream and Sugar. It's just a great neutral palette. I love it. I'm not going to be using just a plain neutral palette today. This one is Truffles. It's got a little more drama with some silver. So I was really trying to pick whether I wanted a more rosy look or a warmer look, and I wanted to work in that blue, and I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to save this rosy look for another time. So just so you guys can see, we have Berry Bad here and we have Rose Water down here. Both really, really pretty. What I'm mainly going to use today is Carnival Candy, and I'm going to work in some Pumpkin Pie as well. I'm just really liking these tones for fall, and I just really want to work in a little bit of that blue. I'm going to take this lightest shade and just sweep it all over and see how that goes. I have not used this palette before, but I just feel like it's going to give me what I want. So I'm just sweeping that all over to kind of cancel out the redness, and I think it's doing a decent job actually. I'm going to take a combination of these two brown shades and use that as my transition color. I'm just going to go back and forth with my brush. I just have a feeling this one by itself is going to be a little bit too brown, too deep. Yes, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to also run this along my lower lash line. Now I want to take this kind of reddish brown shade. I'm just going to use this on the outer third, but I also want to kind of just almost wing it up from that outer third area. You see that line I'm creating? Just kind of swirling it and smoking it. Lately, I'm finding I just don't get too precise with this area. I just like to kind of swirl it and smoke it and make it kind of hazy looking. I just think that's such a pretty look. And because I'm also going to be going onto the lid with the shimmer shade, I don't have to worry about being precise on the lid. I'm going to take a clean blending brush. This is actually the e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush, but I'm not really doing a detail crease today. This is just clean and it's really great for blending, especially for the price. So I'm gonna do that really quick just to haze out those edges. And then I'm gonna take this shade right here from Pumpkin Pie. Is this Pumpkin Pie or Pumpkin Spice? Pumpkin Pie. And I'm gonna just put that on the inner 2/3 of the lid. You can also get more of a foiled look by spraying a brush with some kind of a facial mist. It just kind of builds up the intensity a little bit. Not everybody is comfortable with that. So you can use it dry or wet, whatever your preference is. I'm also going to take a little bit more of that red brown shade that I use in the outer third, and I'm going to take a little bit of it up into the crease. So I'm going in with a deep brown liner from Physicians Formula. This is actually part of their eyeliner trio. It's in the shade Satin Brown. And I'm lining just my upper lid kind of close to the lash line and doing kind of like a little mini wing. And now I'm taking that blue shade from Carnival Candy on a flat eyeliner brush and I'm pressing it kind of close to my lash line. And I'm going to take a slanted brush and kind of merge this liner with the brown liner. I don't know, it just seemed to work for this look. And I'm going to smudge it out with a Q-tip because I don't want it to be too overwhelming or to, you know, make my eyes look droopy, and that can happen with me if I bring eyeliner all along my lower lash line. Next, I'm applying Rimmel Scandaleyes Volume on Demand mascara, which can give a lot of volume to the lashes, some length as well, depending on how much you build it. I've really been enjoying this mascara. Now, I still don't have blush and highlighter on. I'm gonna pick that out in a second, but I did go ahead and put my lip liner on. My lips were just feeling kind of naked. So I have the Rimmel Exaggerate full color lip liner on in the shade Epic. I like the shade for fall because it's just a deeper nude and it goes with a lot of the deeper shades that I enjoy wearing in the fall. So I bought every single shade of the e.l.f. Bite Size Face Duos. I think these are kind of the summery spring shades, and these are the ones that I will be pulling out in the fall. So I'm trying to figure out which one I want to wear for this look. All right, let's open these up and look a little more closely so that I can actually choose which one I'm going to wear. I'll just label these on the screen because the print is teeny tiny on the back. I'm thinking this one is going to be a little bit too berry. This one right here would be really pretty on darker skin tones, but that's going to look really dark on me. So I'm leaning towards this one right here or this one right here, which is more of a neutral. Let's just pull these two. I'm kind of thinking this one. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like on. If I need to top it with this one, I will. Yes, I think this was the right choice. It's a neutral, but it has a little bit of spice to it. I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking, but it looks really appropriate for this look. And I think the highlighter is going to look really, really pretty on top too. I find that sometimes these highlights look like they're going to be dark, but then they're really not. I do love having both products in one. I just find it to be very convenient. If you use a less dense brush like this, it's very, very subtle, but you can kind of pack it on with a finger if you want to, you know, shine a little bit more, you know, or blend it back out with the brush and go a little more subtle. I just find them to be very versatile. Now, before I get into the lip, I want to show you guys the finishing powder. This is the Halo Glow in the shade Medium. I'm just a big finishing powder person. I just swirl my brush in it if it's loose and just take it over my makeup, and it gives it kind of a more airbrush look. It just kind of blends everything together and make your pores look smaller and just kind of blend everything. If you go overboard with your highlighter or, you know, are looking kind of patchy in some way, it just brings everything together really, really nicely. So these are the e.l.f. Sheer Slick lip balms, and then I have this Ride or Die lip balm. The shades I have in the Sheer Slick lip balms are Wild Peach, Cherry Slush, and Black Cherry. And I have the Ride or Die lip balm in the shade Tough Cookie. So here they are swatched. We have Black Cherry, Cherry Slush, and Wild Peach. And then we have Tough Cookie here. The Ride or Die lip balm is a little bit more opaque and has a little bit of a thicker consistency. The Sheer Slick name is appropriate for the Sheer Slicks. They are very sheer and slippery and really great if your lips get dry in the colder, cooler months. So I really like the shade of this lip liner for something to wear that can just be under a mask and kind of stay on. That would be an option for me. But if I wanted something to hydrate, I think for this look, I would go with the Ride or Die lip balm in the shade Tough Cookie. So that's what I'm going to put on today. This is just a look I can see pulling off a lot this fall to kind of play up the eyes, do something a little bit different, but not so out there that, you know, it's too much. And it really uses those warm kind of toasted shades that we see so much in fall. If you haven't seen my recent video where I had to choose one drugstore product to use from each category for the rest of my life, I'll have that linked here for you. It was a lot of fun to do, but really hard as well to think of products that I would use for the rest of my life. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you to e.l.f. for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.